Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru eulogizes Gandhi. Glory has departed, and the sun that warmed and brightened our lives has set, and we shiver in the cold and dark. Yet he would not have us feel this way. After all, that glory that we saw for all these years, that man with the divine fire, changed us also. And such as we are, we have been molded by him during these years, and out of that divine fire, many of us also took a small spark, which strengthened and made us work to some extent on the lines that he fashioned. And so if we praise him, our words seem rather small, and if we praise him, to some extent we also praise ourselves. Great men and eminent men have monuments in bronze and marble set up for them, but this man of divine fire managed in his lifetime to become enshrined in millions and millions of hearts, so that all of us became somewhat of the stuff that he was made of, though to an infinitely lesser degree. He spread out in this way over all India, not in palaces only, or in select places, or in assemblies, but in every hamlet and hut of the lowly and those who suffer. He lives in the hearts of millions, and he will live for immemorial ages. What then can we say about him, except to feel humble on this occasion? To praise him we are not worthy, to praise him whom we cannot follow adequately and sufficiently. It is almost doing him an injustice just to pass him by with words when he demanded work and labor and sacrifice from us. In a large measure, he made this country, during the last 30 years or more, to attain to heights of sacrifice which in that particular domain have never been equaled elsewhere. He succeeded in that. Yet, ultimately, things happened which no doubt made him suffer tremendously, though his tender face never lost its smile, and he never spoke a harsh word to anyone. Yet, he must have suffered for the failing of this generation whom he had trained, suffered because we went away from the path that he has shown us, and ultimately the hand of a child of his, for he, after all, is as much a child of his as any other Indian. The hand of a child of his struck him down. Long ages afterward, history will judge on this period that we have passed through. It will judge of the successes and the failures. We are too near to be proper judges as to understand what has happened and what has not happened. All we know is there was a glory, and that is no more. All we know is that for the moment there is darkness, not so dark, certainly, because when we look into our hearts we still find the living flame which he lighted there. And if those living flames exist, there will not be darkness in this land, and we shall be able, with our effort, remembering him and follow his path, to illumine this land again, small as we are, but still with the fire that he instilled into us. He was perhaps the greatest symbol of the India of the past, and may I say of the India of the future, that we could have had. We stand on this perilous edge of the present, between that past and the future to be, and we face all manner of perils. And the greatest peril is sometimes the lack of faith which comes to us, the sense of frustration that comes to us, the sinking of the heart and of the spirit that comes to us when we see ideals go overboard, when we see the great things that we talked about somehow pass into empty words, and life taking a different course. Yet, I do believe that perhaps this period will pass soon enough. He has gone, and all over India there is a feeling of having been left desolate and forlorn. All of us sense that feeling, and I do not know when we shall be able to get rid of it. And yet together with that feeling, there is also a feeling of proud thankfulness that it has been given to us of this generation to be associated with this mighty person. In ages to come, centuries and maybe millennia after us, people will think of this generation when this man of God trod on earth, and will think of us who, however small, could also follow his path and tread the holy ground where his feet had been. Let us be worthy of him.